What is up guys, Jack here with another video. And last Friday I unfortunately did not manage to see the entirety of the Game Awards, and but it was a great show, and it is a show where we kind of get to celebrate gaming in some fashion. Aside from E3, it is the time where we get to give the awards to the game that really deserved it this year, as well as, well, the companies who did a great job. And obviously you had something like God of War and Red Dead Redemption, especially God of War, in my opinion, really much deserved that, and especially with that delivery at the end, that was just great.
Read it, boy.
But it is also a time where devs do have a chance to come forth and showcase some of the projects they've been working for some time. Obviously, we have seen some of the titles that had already been shown during E3, but some newer entries were also implemented here. But one that did not show, that actually made the most impact in last year's Game Award, was not here. And I'm of course talking about Death Stranding. You see, Death Stranding is among several games that the majority of gamers are waiting for. In my previous video about the game, I focused on the theory about the man in the golden mask, and the possible affiliation that the trailer might have had with one of Hideo Kojima's trip to Versailles, and the 1998 movie The Man in the Iron Mask. In that video, I also touched upon the possibility of a release before 2020 based on Kojima's love for the movie Akira, and the fact that in said movie the Olympic Games are set in the very same year. Well, many would of course have assumed that the Game Awards would have been the perfect time to showcase something like that, a release date or something at least a bit more about the game, but unfortunately that was not the case. But mind you, we got some kind of old yet hot news, as the company who is very well known for always showcasing early release dates well, did it again, because in July this year Amazon UK added Death Stranding to its listing for pre-orders, and the retailer listing had pinned the game to a 2019 release date, and to be more specific, on March 29, 2019. And the likelihood that this was just a placeholder date is obviously there, but it is the closest thing that we've got to a confirmation of the title's launch window at this time. Now, more importantly, during a Dan Fogler podcast with Norman Reedus, the actor confirmed that the game will drop, I quote, early this coming year, as he had 3 more motion capture sessions to film. Now, it is important to note that this should be taken with a grain of salt, because I actually doubt that this is actually correct, because Hideo Kojima is very secretive about this project. Although he has worked with Norman Reedus before, I do assume that this date itself is a bit more about just filming the entire things, the motion captures, and implementing them into the game, because we do know that Death Stranding is already in a playable state. But also shining a light on some of the mysteries about Sam Porter's character, Rita said this when asked about the gameplay.
It's a game of bringing people together, and it's how you play it is you're building bridges from here to there, and other people are doing the same, and you connect. And the character that I play he's got this phobia of being touched, and as you play the game, the phobia leaves you. And
The condition that he is referring to is commonly known as hippophobia, or also known as schizophobia. It is a fear of the touch, where physical human touch can be overpowering and even painful. Medical journals link the following symptoms to this phobia, notably panic attacks, hive, fainting, nausea, heart palpitation, and even hyperventilation. Yeah, that's some pretty gruesome stuff, but since I obviously do love to theorize about this type of things, this actually had me thinking about a certain manga called Earthen Lead. More specifically to its main character, Lucy. We do know that Hideo Kojima has borrowed concepts and ideas from mangas before in some of his games, and notably here in Death Stranding with the timefall mechanic from Yugo Ishikawa's manga Sprite, the rain that speeds up the aging process of everything it touches. While Lucy from Elfen Lied is the queen of an alien race known as the Dicloni. And aside from the fact that she's an alien, she does suffer the same condition as Redis' character. Even more intriguing is her ability to control vectors, which are invisible arms that have a telekinetic origin and are weapons that her people uses. And the way that depicted in manga really much reminded me of what we have seen in current time with these monolithic beings, as well as just some of the creatures that we have seen in the gameplay footage and the trailers. Hepaphobia is said to be caused by experiencing or witnessing a traumatic event that involves being touched. Think for example about TV characters like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory, Gary from Alpha, or an even better example would be the character of Theo in the recent Netflix series The Haunting of Hill House.
You know what happens when I touch people. A part of you knows, it always has.
Well, it must certainly suck, especially with regard to Sam's profession as a transporter, a man who delivers. Having such a phobia, or any phobia for that matter, will be an inconvenience to one's job, especially when the game is...
It's a game of bringing people together.
While the podcast did not provide us with much more information, we do know that this is a game that puts emphasis on forming connections, which is a direct reflection to the many faces that are working on and inspiring the project. Oh, and by the way, if you are a Matrix fan, Juno Reactor is probably going to be working on the soundtracks here. Although I must say that Low Roll is still a favorite, I am excited. Besides, in January this year, we got hints that Death Stranding will include elements of social media. And while I do doubt that this is going to be something akin to Remedy's Quantum Break with votes for outcomes, I do believe that this is going to go in another direction, maybe something akin to the Lucid Nightmare in World of Warcraft, where players had to come together online and solve puzzles and riddles, secrets within the games, in order to find and get a reward. And yes, I know I might be reaching here and getting into some seriously speculative territory, but this is kind of all what we've got here, speculations. And it would be nice if Hideo Kojima would probably clear a little bit of this on, but yeah, you know the man, he's crazy, and that's why we love him so much. To sum it all up, we have an unlikely but still possible early release in 2019, as well as a phobic Sam Porter and a slew of mysteries to uncover. So what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section below, and if you have any recommendation whatsoever, leave them there as well. And you know the routine: if you like this video, give the video a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. And also, if you want to see more of my content, click on that subscribe button, and I see you guys next time. Bye.